2017. We're here at the South Point Hotel and Casino, and we are in the arena. I'm Greg White. Joining me is a man who needs no introduction at the world level of archery. It's Rio Wild. Rio, welcome to the booth.
Hi, it's good to be with everybody tonight. It's going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. Amazing things happening here at the 51st annual NFAA Vegas round. As we get set for the gold medal matches, the finals of the Indoor Archery World Cup. We have 4 matches we're going to bring for you here today. We have women's recurve, male recurve, women's compound, and men's compound.
Yeah.
And we've had some big surprises here in the medal matches. And we are in the arena, and it is an absolute packed house as we await the arrival of the shooters that'll be competing for gold in the recurve women's match. And as the first archer comes on out, it's Song Ji-young. Song Ji-young out of South Korea, shooting for the Hyundai department store team. And her competitor is going to be Jin-yoon. So it's going to be a Korean affair in this one, Rio.
Yeah. It's
in recurve, the dominant
women in this sport.
Absolutely.
I mean, they are beyond dominant. I mean, making a team is kind of like the men's compound in the U.S. has been for several years. Harder to make the team sometimes than winning a world championship.
A lot of you out there might be familiar with this recurve style of shooting. As we look at the bottom left part of your screen, you're going to see some graphics there. Indoor Archery World Championship Cup Finals here for recurve women's gold. And tell us about the scoring system, because for recurve and compound, it's a completely different game that we play.
Yeah, recurve does a set system, similar to kind of like the idea and the thoughts came from tennis. What you do is you shoot your 3 arrows. The high scorer will receive 2 set points. If it's a tie, it's 1 apiece, or a loss is 0 and the other one is 2. The first one is 6 points will win the match. At the end of 5, we'll go to a 1 arrow, sudden death, closest to center winner. And so it's an interesting deal because it does bring a lot of close matches. Because once the 3 arrows are shot, those 3 arrow scores are forgotten.
Time to knock the butterflies off, and
to come out here, you don't know what it was like shooting in the other hall to in here for lighting and everything else, the way it's going to look. So your first arrow is always a feeler. Is it like, man, I want to make a really good shot? And as we can see, both of them seem to be a little on the left-hand side, which can equal some of that looking differently into the light.
Jin-young lines up for a 9 in the opposite direction.
Maybe a little overcompensation. I know sometimes when I'm hitting on one side, I'm like, don't shoot on that side, and I proceed to push it out the other side, so it can be a definite challenge.
In set scoring, if you win the set outright, you get 2 full points. If you split, you get 1. Now, Song Ji-young starts out with 10.
She needs pressure to put a 10 on to make sure that she at least has a chance to win the set. So now there's not much pressure. She can shoot 9 and win the set at the 2 points.
Bear's going to win this first set. Song takes a nice solid shot. Yeah, you just don't want to give up that 9 because you're so early in the set scoring system that 10 is going to be critical at this point for your confidence.
Yeah, she was the #1 qualifier. Was she the #1 qualifier? I believe so. No, she was not. She was the number 5. So
qualifier coming with the brackets.
Yep. Coming out, she went through and she knocked out some of the other gals. And
she did. She actually knocked out the #1 qualifier.
Which shows she's not afraid of. I mean, let's be honest. The Korean women are amazing, and they probably shoot against each other quite often. I mean, they have their business teams that they do a lot. They probably get to see each other a lot. We're talking about the other events. You're going to see each other a lot. It can equal different things. It can equally they get both really nervous and shoot really bad. I mean, I can tell you at the World Championships in the semifinals, me and Dave Cousins shot 114, which was way below what anybody else had shot. But because you both knew what each other could do, and it made you more nervous.
Yeah.
And so, it's interesting to watch what you can see with competitors that are familiar with each other.
close watching the form earlier in qualifying rounds. The technique of the Korean archers seems to be extremely similar, in a rhythm all of their own.
Yeah. They usually are pretty quick to their shot, and they're usually, it's a strong shot. There's not a lot of weight. And it's all similar because they teach it from when they're young. They have a pretty good system, and that's why they stress.
A good look at that bow arm, too, shows you how strong that bow arm is and breaking that wrist on the execution of the shot. So Jin Yun still trying to find rhythm right now with Song Ji-young. 10 points on that first arrow. Lining up the shot, you can see the concentration.
He's starting to really get into a groove, and that's what makes it tough. Because you haven't found that groove yet. You're in a hurry. It's not as bad in the set system, but you don't want to fall too far behind because it can equal. It's a bad deal.
Great answer from Jin there. 10.
But she can shoot an 8 and still have the set, and that's where the advantage is.
How about that? 30 in set number 2 for Song Ji-young. 30 to 28 is going to get her 4 set points. So here's the situation right now.
Jin Yun has got to really scramble around with 0 set points. She needs to win this to bring it to 4-2. If they split and make it 5-1, then it's really a difficult mountain to climb at that point.
This is pretty much, in my opinion, when I get to it. We did sets for a while. And at this point, this is a make or break because if she beats you, you're done. It's 6-0.
Yeah.
That's a quick. Thanks for coming. Enjoy the match, but you're done. But you can't win this one. Then it puts you in almost a more. You have to beat her again. So it's a tough position to be down 4-0. It's not anything you really want to get into, but I can say in the set system, I have seen it flip and come back and get to a tie or a break.
This is the Indoor Archery World Cup Final, the gold medal match in women's recurve. They stand 18 meters away from that target. And the 10 ring is a mere 4 centimeters. That's 1.57 inches. So standing almost 20 yards away. That's what they're faced with. Now, let's talk about the equipment a little bit. As a 10 comes on the board for Jin Yun, that's a good start for her on this end. No magnification allowed.
No.
The way that they stare down that target.
They look at it just like anybody looking at standing in their line. They don't have an aperture with, most of them will have a ring or something in it to aim with. That has no magnification. You're going to see this like you see in the naked eye. And they have no rear sight on it like a rifle or anything because they don't have a peep sight like the other bows, some of the other type bows. So it's a challenge. And I will say one thing that is an underappreciated thing is a release, the way they release their fingers. It's a natural weapon.
Jin comes back strong with 30. You can see the asterisk above that 9. That is a question in terms of is it a 10 or is it a 9 for Song Ji-young?
Their 10 means they can split the set. It could be 5-1 or it could be 4-2, depending on the arrow fall. Like I said, this is where it gets down to having good agents and all that with the nerves, because you never know. You never know what you're going to get there.
Song Ji-young averages in world archery competition. Her average per arrow is 9.2. She has 5 match wins and 1 tiebreak win in her career.
That puts her fairly new.
Yeah, fairly new. She's 20 years old, Song Ji-young, as opposed to Jin Yun, 23 years old.
And I'll tell you, in the last few years, this Indoor World Cup has been getting bigger and bigger. We used to not see the Koreans indoors. We never saw them indoors. And in the last 3 or 4 years, they've started to come around, they started shooting. And I think it's good for them. We saw the results of the games. We've seen they're just pushing themselves to compete more and more. And I think this is, their women have already been dominant, but this just helps them even more, I think. And you see young ones coming up and younger competitors coming up and doing this, it's a sign that they're still going to be super strong.
So Song Ji-young is able to get that 10, so they split. So now, if they split again,
it's over.
It's over. So now, it's on this archer right here. To repeat the performance, needs a solid 30 just to stay alive. Yep. Even have the possibility of staying alive.
Yep.
Song Ji-young.
She's shot a lot of 10s.
Yeah.
So it's a tough task to hope that your 30 can get you a chance to stay alive.
Center stage here is completely different. As Gino now in a rhythm, in a groove, you can see right next to their knee, that's the clock. 20 seconds to execute your shot. As soon as the arrow enters the target of your competitor, your clock is going to start.
This is one of them like, man, I got to put it in. I hope you get a little help from your competitor. I mean, no one really ever wishes they will. It should be like, man, I need a little help right now.
Virginia has done it on her own. Yep. Coming back with 6 solid 10s. Now, Sung Jin, all she has to do is get that 10 to win, and she does it. They're going to have that. And so 6-2, and that will be the gold medal for Song Ji-young. 20 years old, comes to Las Vegas here.
Seeded number 5.
Number 5.
Works her way from the bracket all the way to get
Knocking off number 1 to get here, and wins a gold medal at the Indoor Archery World Cup Finals at a heavily attended event. I'm telling you that this arena is packed with folks. Just to give you an idea of how many archers are here at this event this week in Rio, 3,485 individual competitors compared to last year, 3,050 competitors. That's a 14% increase. And in the last 5 years at this tournament, the Vegas shoot, nearly double.
Yeah, it's blown up. I mean, indoor archery around the world is going crazy. I mean, we go to Bangkok, we go to Marrakesh, we go to Nîmes, we go to Vegas. I mean, it's just getting bigger and bigger on every stage. I mean, it's amazing to watch. I mean, I went to Lancaster a few weeks ago. I was at the very first one. There was 142. This last, we were at 1,200. You know,
wow.
It's just going crazy, and it's awesome to see for the sport of archery. And these gals, I mean, it's showing more and more. People are learning the game. And they're doing great. I mean, the gal who just won here, and the competition's amazing. I mean, she took out an Olympic silver medal, Sanaya Romain.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of good shooters here, so this is never a slouch tournament.
An absolute packed field of archers. Great to see so many of the Korean athletes that made it actually into the Sweet 16, which happened just a couple of hours ago. The bronze medal matches, of course, already determined in all 4 of the categories we're shooting here at the Indoor Archery World Cup Finals. I'm Greg White, by the way. If you're just joining us, we just wrapped up the women's recurve final. Gold medal won by 20-year-old Sung Ji-young of Korea. With me is Rio Wild. Of course, Rio competing at this stage for a long time, has 14 World Cup medals, has won Vegas here 3 times in your career, and it just continues to roll on for you, Rio, as we take a look at the world-famous Vegas shoot. 51 years. Two events going on at one time. We have World Archery, which you're looking at right now, but simultaneously, the National Field Archery Association, the NFAA here in the United States, is putting on the 51st Vegas shoot, and the prize money for the winner in the championship class, $51,000 on the line.
Yeah, nothing to shake your head at all. It's a lot of money, and so. But it's cool that they've done the World Cup here on Saturday night, because what it's done is brought more international flavor to the event. You know, before we saw a few. I mean, let's be honest, we never saw a Korean here for the Vegas shoot. Mm-hmm. And now to see them here for this, it's kind of a good marriage between World Archery and the National Field Archery Association.
So here we go. It's the recurve gold medal match for the men. And in this one, once again for the men, if you were expecting to see Olympic medalist Brady Ellison, Brady actually shot for bronze
against Jean-Charles Valadon,
yep,
who was the Olympic silver medalist this year, so no slouch by any means, and Jean-Charles got the better of him in a 6-4 match.
But this match that we're looking at right here, Yi Dong-hyun on target number 1 from Korea, going for the gold. Now, the interesting thing about the way World Archery works, of course, when you come in to this arena here and you're shooting in the actual arena, you know you've got a medal. You've got a medal, but it's all about, let's talk about this archer right here. Oh, yeah.
It's not too bad. He's got an Olympic gold medal from London, so he's a pretty good shooter.
He is a pretty good shooter.
And a super nice guy. I've known O for a while. Doesn't speak a lot of English, but we always have good kind of discussions with our hands and stuff, I guess you could say.
A well-decorated archer.
Always got a smile on his face. Just a good, happy guy.
Lives in Seoul, Korea. He started archery in 1992. Here we go. Starting off. This will set the tone for this match.
And he's on the left side again. You saw the women come out. They shot on the left side to start with too, so he starts out on the left side. Let's see if we get a left arrow here.
Young. 7 seconds.
Nope.
Nice release.
That's dead center.
Dead center.
So maybe he got a little bit of what was going on and figured it out, but his is a dead center to start with.
Is that scoring? Release is another one. So he's dancing around those lines. He is hitting. Looks like he's hitting.
And the honesty, it doesn't matter if you're in the middle or you're hitting. They're all scored the same. There's an opening.
Yep, there it is.
I think we'll see in the smash. It'll be the little openings that'll determine. Both of these guys. O has a lot of experience, and so being out on the stage is not anything unfamiliar to him.
Rio, you bring that up. There's a great solid 10 from O on that one. Can you ever just go, there's no big deal, like I've been in this stage before?
No.
It's always going to get to you, isn't it?
Yeah, because as a competitor, you want to win everything.
Yep.
Everything. There's not one. When you get to this level, you have to have that drive to be here, or you're not doing the work to get here. And so, it's kind of a funny deal because you have to have something that makes you want to do better, and so it makes you nervous no matter what. I mean, I won 3 Vegases, and then just like I talked today, I walked out there and shot this morning, and it was like, man, I was a little giddy and nervous, and it's like, it never gets old. It never gets old. I love it. That is a part of the sport I love, the anxiety, the nerves, and everything like that. So, it's one of the things that just really cool to do.
So O was able to pick up that point, that extra 10 there. You saw that 9 with the asterisk in this lower left-hand part of your screen. That's going to indicate that there is a question and the judges have to take a look at it. Now, keep in mind, folks, to get to this stage, if you're new to archery, this isn't your typical archery. You don't go to your range and shoot on a center stage like this, and you don't have minders down there checking score and pulling your arrows. So this is a different way to shoot when you get to the finals.
Yeah. And both these guys have been out there. We were talking O's and Olympic medals. It's not something new to him.
So O, 30-inch draw length. He has a draw weight of 46 pounds if you're wondering about recurve and how much weight they're pulling back. Really important in recurve that you start out with a lower poundage and really find your form.
And look at these guys, 10, 10. I mean, there's no, like I said, I think the biggest part of this match will come to who gives a little chink in their miss or, the open door, as per se, to give you that chance to win.
Oh, with another one. So now these two are going after each other.
I know he's yet to miss. Maybe hanging on the line, but.
Another 10. Yu Dong-nung, who finished with the bronze medal World Cup final here in Las Vegas in 2016.
So he's got the experience.
Yep.
And he won a silver at a World Cup stage, an outdoor one. So it's not anything new to them. So now, again, O's still clean. We have 10, 10, 10. So now we're going to split a set. Like I said, that might have been even the chink, the very first one, that the little bit, the break in the armor to give him that chance to win this whole match.
Yeah.
Set systems can be interesting. And O's won a ton of matches.
There's no question. O has got a lot of experience on this stage. In World Archery, Oh Jin-hyuk, his arrow average over a 2-year period is 8.9. And check this out, Rio. He's won 79 of 105 matches. That's 75%. And of tiebreakers he's been in, he's won 2 of 5 for 40%.
Yeah, it's crazy. He is just...
He made his international debut, of course, in 1999. He won that individual gold 2012 in the Olympic Games. He's also a bronze medal holder with the team in 2012.
Yeah, he's, like I said, his resume is far speaks for itself.
Yes. 10 points.
Chess match. You can see that O leads 3-1 in set points. You don't know. With a solid 10.
10. Like I said, it's hard to beat when you keep shooting him in the middle.
9 asterisks, of course. They're going to take a look at it when this end is over. Looks to us like it's a pretty solid 10.
Yeah, it does on through the TV. It
Yeah.
looks really good. That's another close one.
Yep, 9-10
That
liner.
could be the door that opens, you know. There's an opening from his side. And sometimes it gets a little more nerve-wracking when you know you've got the match in hand. And it just can
Maybe lapse in concentration a little bit.
sometimes it's just you start to know, oh my gosh, I could win this.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know, it's the setting. Oh my gosh, and being perfect, you know, that makes it tougher.
So a couple question marks in this set. Question marks right now in this set as to who's going to win it. Right now, the scoring as we see it is 29-28,
Yeah.
which would tie things up.
Yep, we're getting 3 sets apiece.
This is sometimes in archery what happens. You got to let the judges do their thing, and then we'll get the final word. You can see there in the middle, judge calling back the scores to the table. So it is.
So
it's
it is
going
correct.
to be.
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be 3-3.
Yeah, he didn't get that arrow called in, so now we're all tied up.
All tied
And that
up
was
with a gold medal.
Just like I said, that was the little break that he got to get back in the match. I mean, it doesn't take much. But these guys are shooting as good as they are
Yeah.
to get that.
So lining up, Oh Jin-hyuk from Korea, 35 years old, 79 match wins in his career.
That's good.
That's amazing.
And-
I mean, it's
and
not
almost-
140 like you, Rio, but it's pretty solid.
Well, and almost an 80% clip. I mean, that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that's amazing.
There they go.
So O starts off, little smile on his face. He's applying the pressure now. The fellow Korean, Lee Dong-hyun. Oh, that's a good answer.
Yep, that's a good answer. Definitely.
That one was right down Main Street.
And like I said, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's, you know, to come back and match him and do that. And he looks solid. You know?
Oh, drains it right in the middle, just offset a little bit. He'll be happy with that one.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of a miscue, just left it on top.
Just like I said, the Ubers, as you've heard him in the crowd.
Yeah. Ooh, the whole crowd kind of lit up on that one. Above the archer's head is a huge screen that they can see themselves on when they decide. We've seen it before. So, with a solid 10, comes out with a 30. No matter what Lee Dong-hyun does at this point, he's going to drop this one. It's going to take us 5-3.
Yep. And that puts a commanding lead. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a tough one because at 5 you have to hope that he gives you that, and he hasn't given a lot of openings. Oh, hasn't.
Yeah.
To give him that chance to get back into it. So it's a, like I said, it's a tough one. I don't care what anybody says.
This is the gold medal match that people wanted to see here. The men's recurve final.
You can see the crowd. It's a big crowd.
It's a huge crowd here. The Indoor Archery World Cup final. This will determine the world champion for indoor archery.
Well, the World Cup champion. Yep.
World Cup champion for indoor archery walks away with a gold medal and gets
And
to
some
pad
money.
that resume and some money.
Yeah.
And with World Archery, equal pay for everyone. So these gold medal matches pay equal for it. Doesn't matter if it's recurve, compound, men or women.
Nope, all
They
the same.
all the same amount.
There's another little prize that you get that most people don't hear about. The winner gets entry fee and accommodations at every one of the World Cups this year.
Absolutely.
And so there's a little bit on the line here.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
You know, it's not an Olympic gold medal, but it's a pretty good little prize to have.
And done on an incredible stage.
Yep, and
with
another title to your name.
the great audience that's joining us live all around the world, plus all the archers and families that are here celebrating the 51st Vegas shoot. We're at the South Point Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. We are watching the set number 5.
Oh, there's the opening.
All right, so here's the situation, folks. If Gi Dong-hyun
Clean out.
can clean out and he tie this up, it's going to be 5-5. Rio, what happens next?
Can you go to a 1 arrow closest to the dead center, which is it's a nerve wrecker. Because let's be honest, I'm going to place it dead center is the hardest thing in the world to say. You just got to hope your shot breaks at the right time.
We are set right now for that. If O can nail that 10, so now the pressure is on Gi Dong-hyun.
But a 10 makes it all irrelevant.
That's right.
Because that gives him the set no matter what, and we will be at 5s.
Staying alive. Staying alive for a shoot-off. This archer is fighting for his life. He's fighting for that gold medal.
And this arrow is pretty much irrelevant. It's not. Didn't matter. I mean, he could have shot the.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Could have shot the dice on the side of the target or something. It just doesn't matter.
Okay, so the shots are relevant in terms of set scoring. However, did you want to throw a 10 down there because you know your next shot has got to be closest to the center?
Yeah, except for you're frustrated now. You know you already missed one, and you're like, it doesn't matter as much. And so you're like, let's just get it down there and let's get ready for the next one. And sometimes I won't lie, tried to figure out what I can do to try and make it go more middle with that arrow. Mm-hmm. It kind of gives me, maybe I would call it an extra practice arrow, you could say.
Yeah.
But
and folks, look, if you're at home and you shoot and you're training in archery, this is a great example of if you're at your local club, find someone that you can try shoot-offs with. Put yourself in this situation, because if you get to a stage like this and you've never done a shoot-off, this is not the place you want to learn it. You want to practice it back at home. Now we're headed for a shoot-off here. This is for the gold medal at the Indoor Archery World Cup Finals here for men's recurve archery. The closest single arrow to the center will take home gold.
Yep. And the other little thing that I have seen happen, you're supposed to shoot the middle target.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
The middle target.
Yep.
So if you shoot the top or the bottom, it's a 0.
There you go.
So that's something you have to know.
You got to be thinking in your brain, middle right now.
Yep.
Middle. The crowd had their say. They were chanting and stomping and cheering. So here we go. Looks like O's going to start us off.
Well, because he was the higher ranked archer coming in, he chose to shoot first, which leads back to the shoot off. He gets to shoot first now.
Deep breath. Trying to hold as steady as possible. He gets it in the 10 ring, but the door is definitely open. That's a 4 centimeter circle. So it looks like he's a good 3.5 centimeters away from the middle.
Oh, and he gets it.
Just outside, so that means the gold medal will go to O. So Oh Jin-hyuk will take home the Indoor Archery World Cup gold medal, and silver to Gi Dong-hyun. So the 35-year-old out of Seoul, Korea,
continues that to his resume.
what an amazing career. Taking his match wins to 80.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, it takes his tiebreakers. He's now got 3 tiebreakers of 6. That takes him to a solid 50%. So congratulations on the gold medal, Oh Jin-hyuk from Korea. So that's 2 down, and we have 2 more to go. And on the docket is something coming up very exciting, I would say.
As always.
As always. We're going to have an international compound women's gold final. As we take a look at some of these fantastic shots being captured by our crew of these archers trying to go for gold. And you can see the camaraderie in archery.
Yeah.
We talk about it, O's not standing there by himself. That was a great match, a great final for the gold that this crowd got to witness.
Yeah, and it's any style they want. You're out there competing, and I have a friend, Chance Bobet, who was 3rd today. He got the bronze medal, and we were talking. He says, "You know what? We're friends, but for the next 40 minutes, we're not friends."
Yeah, absolutely.
And as soon as we're done, we're back to being friends.
Yep.
That's kind of how it works out. So this will be an interesting match.
Back there, you see 2 men standing in boxes. That's the coach's box.
Yep.
Explain that.
Usually you put a coach back there. The 20 seconds you have to shoot, the big part of that is these guys will count it down for them. Because you don't usually know what you're talking. I mean, I can't focus on the target and the clock at the same time. So you would time out if you didn't know.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. The stage is set. We're getting ready for the women's compound gold medal match, the Indoor Archery World Cup final. The bronze already decided. It was won by Linda Ochoa Anderson, whose husband Steve will be shooting
the gold medal
for
match
gold
in
a little bit later on. This is Tanya Jensen, who will be competing here today, 21 years old.
And she has shot on fire all weekend so far. She shot a clean 600, shot 27Xs the first day, and it's just been on fire. So
Absolutely on fire. And Andrea Marcos from Spain, shooting for Hoyt, will be the competitor, 28 years old.
she kind of broke on the scene a couple years ago, won a World Cup in Turkey. She's, experienced with this.
Yeah.
This isn't a first time, but both of them are.
Yeah, she made her debut in 2013, so you have a 28-year-old Spaniard going against 21 years old, Tanya Jensen from Denmark. Here we go.
Like I said, Tanya's been on fire. She shot some great scores today. 148, 146. She's shot really good.
Tanya's going to lead us off. Tanya shooting for Matthews. She's going to start us off with a 9. She's had 17 match wins. She has about a 61% match win average. And she's also been in a one tiebreaker situation as Tanya Jensen.
And won it 100%.
And won it 100%. So 9s to start us off. Check in the middle. Little smile there. She was absolutely drilling him when we got to the Sweet 16. She was nailing it. Marcos answers. Andrea Marcos, 24-inch strong, 51-pound bow. Andrea Marcos has been on stage. She's had 22 match wins in her career, 63%. And she's also won 60% of her tiebreakers, winning 3.
Which shows she has experience.
Yeah.
And what you said.
Yeah, no, she made her international debut back in 2013.
Yeah.
Started archery in 2008. So a lot of experience with these archers. So Tanya Jensen, who you're looking at right there, she came in as the #1 seed.
Yep. And Marcos coming in as 11.
Yeah.
She's rolled through some
Heavy hitters.
Yep. Linda knocked out Sarah, who was the #2 one.
Yep.
And then you've got Toglioni, who was another tough one that Linda knocked out. So Linda kind of rolled over the big ones and ran into Andrea, and Andrea got hurt. So that's the fun part about match play. It can go any way. You never know, and it just kind of always falls out. I mean, it's just like our NCAA basketball tournament. There's a reason why people do pools, because you don't know until you fire the arrows who's going to be standing here at the end.
And shifting gears, of course, from recurve to compound archery, there's no more set scoring. This is cumulative scoring.
Yeah, total. So every arrow is going to count. I mean, a 9 is a 9 is a...
Yeah.
Yeah, you just, it's not as bad here as it is when we're shooting Vegas. A 9 hurts you a little more there because there's going to probably be 12 to 16 guys shoot 900s come tomorrow.
Yeah.
And, so that 9 really kills you because you're not even going to finish in the top 16. But here, a person can come back from a 9 because the 10 is so much smaller. It's the size of a penny. It's not a gimme. It's a tough one.
If you're a hunter who hunts with a compound bow, a little bit different with these open compounds. A lot of archers choosing a bladed rest. So a nice thin blade at the arrow sits on top of it. Magnification in the lenses that can vary, Rio.
Yeah, and people choose the different verifications so that they don't see the movement.
What power lens do you use? I run a 4 power as well.
I don't like to see a lot of movement. It's just a nice, easy thing. But man, these girls are putting it on display.
10, so Andrea Marcos, a little low on that one.
Tanya, she's shooting good.
Really got the nerve shaken off there after that second arrow.
Nice. That was a little long to work. She's still
solid shot. What we call a strong shot in archery. And Andrea Marcos answered her 9 with a 10.
I think she's a little surprised she came back and looked in on her face. Like, ooh.
Wow.
We watched Tanya a couple weeks ago in France. She put on an exhibition, and it looks like she's going that same way right now. And I saw where she tied the world record and set a new national record in qualification for this round. So she's been working hard and shooting some amazing scores. So, and then like I said, the last 2 days for the Vegas, she has shot phenomenal.
So a nice solid 30. And in comparison, by the way, to recurve targets that we saw, the compound targets have their own special target in terms of the 10 ring goes from 4 centimeters down to 2, which is the size of a penny.
Yeah.
So you're shooting at 18 meters, and the 10s that these women are throwing those arrows into right now is the size of a penny. Imagine that.
Oh yeah. And think of it, for all the money and all the prestige, and I mean,
Yeah.
and all these thousands of people back here watching, it's pretty hard to do it anyway, little less put yourself in that situation.
Tanya, no stranger to winning gold in World Championship, World Cup finals. She's won teams, she's won individual golds as well as silver, but you know what, if you look at her gold, she has 5 gold medals and only 1 silver. She's accustomed, is Tanya, to winning on this stage. Her arrow average, it's a great way to judge yourself against other archers when you're practicing, you're in matches. Tanya Jensen's average right now, 9.6 in the last 2-year period. Spaniard, Andrea Marcos lines up and a solid 10.
It's a little pressure on her. She's down 2 points. You hope that she gives you a little help, but that's the hard part. She's so good right now.
Yep, she's going to catch that line up the right. Yeah, it's going to be 9 asterisks. If you're just joining us, first time looking at our scoring, that asterisk indicates that the judges are going to have to take a look at that to determine if it's a 9 or a 10.
She knew when she shot it. She shook her head. You know, I mean, there's some shots that you just make and you're like, dang it. Should have never let that one go.
Ooh, so Jensen.
Yeah, and you heard Martin back there starting to count. I really haven't heard that yet from
Martin Damsbo, of course,
Yes.
in the coach's box right there, letting Tanya know what's going on. Marcos, she had an opportunity there. Could not capitalize on that one.
And Martin has helped build the Danish bunch. They shoot a lot together. So we could be a 1-point match right here, depending on that arrow call.
And this educated crowd, you heard groans from the crowd when
Yeah.
Tanya just threw that 9.
Yeah.
Little sip of water, try to take some deep breaths, calm the nerves. Martin Damsbo, of course, one of the great ambassadors of the sport and a great shooter in his own right, known as one of the nicest guys in the sport, building that program. And by the way, folks, after this match, we have an All-American Fair coming at you for the final gold medal match for the Indoor Archery World Cup Finals. After this one, as we are deep into this match, you can see that little grimace on Andrea Marcos' face.
And anyone that shot knows, you know it. You're like, oh man, that one I should have never. You know, I had a guy one time tell me, the best shot is the one that I let up.
Yeah.
Because it's the one you were disciplined enough to know, hey, it's not going to be good.
Now you can see, working on Andrea Marcos' target right there. Who does that look like to you?
The guy fixing it?
Yeah.
That would be Lindo Ochoa's brother.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now what was he doing to that target?
I was trying to clean up the bad holes so you don't see him and go to him and break to him.
That's a good little tip, you know. A lot of archers will go to a range and maybe shoot a target that's already been shot out. If you can afford to shoot a new target, it's always good because every time you start a match, you're going to be looking at a clean target, and you've got to train your brain to practice in that way. Agreed?
Or a lot of times there's tournaments they put up new target faces for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in France a couple weeks ago, and I ended up with 7 new faces just during qualification.
Wow.
So you've got to have the availability to get used to that, not afraid of it.
Andrea Marcos now down by a point. Actually, she's really killing that top target. I mean, that happens sometimes when you're an archer, doesn't it?
Yep.
You just get you just have that one target that you just keep hitting.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. She knows Tanya Jensen, the pressure's on. Andrea Marcos could be in the driver's seat if she can continue to put pressure on Tanya Jensen.
Hard to tell.
It's hard to tell with that extra hole, so we're going to have to wait and see on that one. That one's an awful close one. Here goes Tanya Jensen. From Denmark. Looks rock solid. That one's an in. Yep, that's in.
So she needs this one, pretty sure.
Okay, little door open there. Just outside that.
She knows it. She comes back grinning. She knows what she gets. She's like, dang
That penny-size ring. The 10. That'll do it. That's a great shot right there. So it looks like 30. Jensen, depending on the score, Andrea Marcos is going to get with that 9-10 liner.
Well, and here's the thing. If she doesn't get that one and has a 3-point lead going to the last one,
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to say that it's over, but it's hard to give 3 points up. I mean, that's 3 of those big gold lines. And the open that she hits all 3 of her hands. I mean, put you on a little cruise.
And it's archery. Anything can happen. I mean, we've seen on big stages gold medal matches, releases fail, or people knock up an arrow the wrong way,
or even at the World Cup Finals, I've seen it here before indoors, where the coach forgets to count and the girl loses the arrow.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
So it's not anything.
A good look at the shooting style here. There's Mark Danzo.
That's how to be strong.
Strong shots. Part of the archery conversation. Weak shot versus a strong shot. See the release that Tanya uses. Is that a back tension or a thumb release?
It's a thumb release. A lot of in the archery industry call it a butt because you push it to make it go off. It works really good. Both of these, I'm not sure what they're both. We have
Tanya's the button. Andrea will take a look at here, and she now is trailing by 3 points as we go to the final end.
and she's got a button.
She has a button as well.
She starts off good.
Yeah, that's her.
That's all you can ask.
Yeah.
You can only hope for in this situation. Like, man, I wish that something would happen, but. And I will tell you, as much as you wish something would happen, you really don't wish it would happen because, I mean, archers are pretty good sportsmen. I will say that in the most honest way. There ain't
Yeah.
I see cheer really bad against the other. In fact, I would say most archers love to watch a good one shoot. When the guy's on fire, man, it's awesome. Or the gal, it's just awesome. That's why I like to say, Tanya shot amazing all week so far. I mean, I watch it, I check it. I mean,
Little smile from Tanya. She knows after drilling that 10, that this match could be out of reach. And Andrea Marcos now with the
she only
9.
needs a 7 to win.
7.
You can shoot as many 10s as she has, as nervous as you can get.
Yep.
The best part of yourself is you say to yourself, I want a 10 because I want to be strong. But get up tonight.
And a 9 will do it for Tanya Jensen, so she will take home the gold medal here at the Indoor Archery World Cup Finals. It's the Vegas Shoot 2017. Bow held high in the air. Look at the smile on her face. So we see our number 1 qualifier. Our first of our number 1 qualifiers make it to the gold.
Yep.
Tanya Jensen from Denmark. Andrea Marcos. And of course, the bronze medal, shot a little earlier, goes to Linda Ochoa Anderson.
And like I said, the sportsmanship. They're both going to go out there and stand and pose for pictures.
Yep.
No hurt feelings, no nothing. It's awesome.
And by the way, their weekend is not over because there's still a whole lot of shooting to do tomorrow
Yeah, there
here
is.
in Las Vegas.
And as much as we say this is great,
Yeah.
the money tomorrow and everything else in the prestige, to me, the Vegas Shoot is the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
It is you put that on your resume, that's a pretty big thing. And after 50 years, it's pretty cool to see how many people have that title.
Keep in mind, too, that there is a bit of an equipment change. In the NFAA rules, you're allowed to run 27 arrows versus a 23 arrow. Explain that.
That's a 9.3mm here requirement because it's an international rule. And I'm not sure why international likes that. I know that the 27s eat the target up pretty heavy, and that was one of the considerations why the smaller arrow when I remember it being done. So I think that's where it came from, but I'm not positive.
All right, listen. This is the final gold medal match of the evening as we get set for the men's compound gold. And coming up soon, the crowd is already going wild because these two shooters have been staged up
for a gold medal match. An incredible story coming in for the 28-year-old archer, Steve Anderson. As we're getting ready for this match, we're going to tell you who he's going to be competing against, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to be on the edge of your seat for this one, because these two archers coming up in the United States have to be two of the most popular archers, both at this event and on social media. There is no question about it. But that's why the crowd is going absolutely bonkers behind us as they await the arrival of the final Indoor Archery World Cup match for gold and for silver. The bronze was won earlier by Chance Bobek. So here we go. It's time to get this final match going. If you're at home right now, I know you want to put your hands together for this men's compound final. On the left is American Steve Anderson, and to his right, now shooting a Matthews, if you're joining us for the first time, Jesse Broadwater. What a match we have. And Rio, I've got to say this. Steve Anderson was supposed to join me here in the booth. I'm glad you're here. What happened with Steve, he shot so well these first 2 days here in Vegas that he found himself in 13th position. He had no expectations of even making it into the Sweet 16, the final 16, and he worked his way from 13th position to get into this spot. But Jesse Broadwater had to go by a freight train known as Mike Schlosser in order to do that, and he had to do it in round 1 of the Sweet 16 in a shoot-off.
Well, Jesse was number 10, so it wasn't that neither one of them were, you know. Neither one actually was favored to win their first match. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, but when you're talking the caliber of archers in this, that you can go from any position anywhere, it is just tough.
By the way, I think it needs to be mentioned that for Steve Anderson, he didn't expect to shoot this. We talked just a moment ago about equipment change. 23 arrows versus 27s. Steve didn't even have 23s here. He had to go to Mike Schulzer and borrow the arrows. Those are borrowed arrows if Steve wins the gold. Now, keep in mind, they're Easton arrows, exactly the same as Steve shoots, but he has a couple samples. So here we go. Jesse Broadwater, the defending champion of this event, now shooting Matthews TRX-8. Lines up for his first arrow. Oh, man.
Jesse he knocked me out. I can't say that he's not. So, you know, Steve shot good too. He took out Chris Schaff, who took out Stefan Hansen. But
the crowd groans here, big cat.
Steve, having won the world field, has been a little bit on this stage. Not as much out here. And, he's been at World Cup finals and stuff, or World Cups and been in the finals. But it's a little different here. Vegas is in Vegas.
Vegas is Vegas.
Yeah, and we don't have this kind of crowd even at a World Cup. This is a different.
Nice. There you go. Steve, the answers on that one. One thing I want you to notice is when Jesse's at full draw, look at how much extra length his arrows have, because he's got them tuned perfectly the way he likes them. And look how little arrows left when Steve draws back, because Steve has a monster draw.
Yeah, it wasn't using my. You don't know how much it's like. Oh, it's barely fitting the breast. It doesn't. So it's kind of that's a different part of it.
Over 32 inches. Steve Anderson's draw. I'm going to call that one. I don't know. I'm going to say that's a 9.
You say it's a 10.
Okay.
Or they're not the best vantage point, and someone has spotted it enough that they didn't put an answer.
Okay.
And so,
again, cumulative scoring here. So you're going to add that up. So Steve Anderson will head into the second end of 5, barring a shoot-off. 1 point down. So Broadwater shooting really well. What a match he had in round 1 against Mike Schlosser, Mr. Perfect.
yeah.
Actually, that was round 2, come to think of it. That was the second round.
Yeah, Jesse and Mike.
Yeah, because Mike shot a 150 to get to advance to the second round.
Then they both shot 149s to tie and go into a shoot-off.
Yeah.
I mean, that round was pretty crazy. I mean, we had a 150 shoot-off with Chris Schaff and Stefan Hansen. So there was a lot of great scores shot there. Must have been something in the air. I mean, it was really good. This will be interesting to see how Steve handles this. He'll now shoot first.
Yep.
You're just trailing. You're going to go first.
Steve Anderson fighting a little sinus infection right now, actually. Just did not expect to shoot. I found out somewhere around 4:30 this afternoon. We're sitting at 8:49 right now. Jesse Broadwater now switch after 16 years with Hoyt. He switches over to Matthews, and he's still constantly working on getting that bow to work for him. It's a lot of changing with stabilization and that long bar you see out the front and out the side. And of course, Jesse Broadwater, he always shoots. You can see his shoes. He has 1 blue laces and pink.
and that's for his son and his daughter.
Yep.
Just let him know he's thinking about him. Here goes Steve Anderson. Lines up the shot. He'll graze that 10 line. Steve Anderson.
These are both great shots. I mean, there's no question about it. It's going to be who gives just a little bit at the right time. Going to do it in catch.
You know, talking with Jesse Broadwater earlier about his approach setup, one of the things he commented to me is that if he was home shooting by himself in practice, the bow held great. When he got into competition, as Steve now drops another point at the moment to Jesse Broadwater, that when he got into competition, Jesse got into competition, and he got the nerves going, and the bow wouldn't hold like it would hold. And that was what he was dancing around. Can you comment a little bit on that? How the bow acts differently from practice to when you're in pressure situations?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, we can make anything work in practice because we're there by ourselves. There's no pressure. There's no added anything. And so Steve shoots another 9 to open the door. And Jesse's a big, good shooter, and I can just see him gobbling these extra points up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but we can all make stuff work at home. And when the pressure's not there, it just seems to flow, work it. I mean, I can give you an example. Lancaster. I thought, well, I'm going to try the higher letter. Really haven't ever done it in a tournament. Home it aimed amazing. It was phenomenal. It shot great. I'm like, this will be a good tournament. I'm very excited. I get there, and it was like a train wreck. I missed 10 points in the first 5 ends, and I'm like, wow, I'm in trouble. If I don't get this picked up, I'm not even going to make the cut. So I proceed to slow my release down enough to build up pressure and tension so it would react more like heavier holding weight. And I went through the next 15 and only missed 3. So I seemed to make it into the cut, but I ended up meeting Chance Boba for the first round, which one of us is going to have to go home.
Absolutely.
So kind of one of them things.
So again, little work on Steve Anderson's target. Try to get rid of some of those.
Yeah, so it's an interesting deal. Like Jesse has shot so good though. I mean, he took out Mikey. He's taken out, and that's just built confidence. Just like you're talking about his equipment not aiming as good and everything else. The more you win and the more you get rolling, the confidence just builds and builds and builds.
We talk about Steve Anderson borrowing arrows for this match. How important is your own arrow build in terms of how you clutch the arrows and the point weight?
It's huge. I mean, you build. It's just confidence in anything. Your shot execution. You gotta trust in it. You gotta trust that what you do every day is gonna work perfectly, and so you can let that dot just sit there and execute. And it's kind of one of the things I think that, like Jesse, confidence is building more and more and more, and that's what's gonna help him out. And that's where Steve, I mean, Steve shot good today, so he's got to have the confidence. You don't get to this point tonight without having shot well.
That's true. And for Steve Anderson too, he's so far clean in the Vegas shoot 2017 in the Champions class. He shot perfect. So and there's Jesse. So Jesse opens the door just a bit. Now, at this moment, it's still just a 2-point lead.
Yeah.
But can Steve answer? Now the pressure's on Steve really to put this one in that 10 ring. Oh, that's putting it right in the middle. Someone call a plumber. Something just went down the drain. Steve Anderson just locked that in. Now, what does Jesse have for an answer? Wow. And this is how quickly it turns.
It changes in a real hurry. I mean, we saw it earlier. You and I were discussing, and Steve, we thought, had the whole match won against Tate Morgan.
Yep.
And he missed 2 in the last end and
had to go to a shootout.
Yeah. This is so close that with a penny, it can change that quick. And you could see Steve's demeanor's changed. Had Jesse probably put that one in, you could see his demeanor had fallen a little bit. Now it's a 1-point game. There's 6 arrows left. You're not out of the woods. You're like, hey, if I put 6 arrows in the middle, I'm going to say odds are I'm going to get a little bit. And so it's a huge change. That one arrow is just, those 2 arrows are just huge.
Jesse's wife in the coach's box behind them.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a weekend away from them, from the kids.
Yeah. But
they miss them terribly, but
it's cool to have your wife back there.
I bet.
Because you can walk back and talk to them. It's a different, they don't always understand the whole thing that's going on out there. So they give you a break from what's really on your mind and talk something else silly. And It's just sometimes it's a fun thing to have back there.
Gold
And Steve has
medal.
Roberto, his friend back there.
Oh, yeah. So here we go. 1 point advantage for Jesse Broadwater. We're beginning the 4th of 5 ends. Steve Anderson leads off with a nice solid 10. Jesse Broadwater, ton of experience, of course. I'm sure that those 2 9s in that last end, he's going to just let him go and look down the road. And there he goes.
That's a good kind of like, all right, I missed them too. I got this one. Let's see if Steve can hold it together and just kind of keep rolling. I think it's enough.
That one's a little bit of a 9. Steve Anderson, of course, coming off one of the best archery years he had in 2016. He won the World Archery Field Championship in Europe. Coming off of that confidence. We're taking a nice close look at that one.
Both of those will be asterisks, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And this sport is so close and so tight. It can come down to I mean, like, as much, and it's not anything that's a judge game. It can be your luck of the day or how the arrow kicks and the paper tears.
Steve Anderson had a nice long look, maybe a little click or two on the sight.
And just,
There we go. So now it's going to be interesting to see what those middle arrows,
It could be a 2-point lead. It could be a 1-point lead. We've got all kinds of that lie on them 2 arrows. It makes this match just all the more exciting. You can see Jesse, his glasses.
Taking a nice long look. And it's amazing when you're an archer. No matter how much you look, it never changes. The arrow just stays the same.
Yeah, I always said there's not a pair of binoculars I can go down and move the arrow with as much as I would love to.
You see the number 10 there next to under Jesse's name? That means he was the 10th seed coming into this. So we mentioned that Jesse Broadwater knocked off some incredible talent, as did Steve Anderson, the 13th out of 16 seeds coming in. So Jesse, nice, cool, calm, and collected. Really surprised himself last year. In a conversation I had with Jesse earlier tonight, he surprised himself last year. The way he was shooting, he was really struggling. And, you know, I actually had the opportunity to go down and watch the 2 of you in the warm-up area. There was a bit of delay here in the arena, and you guys were shooting for a long time. And Jesse said to me that he was really working on something. He was kind of struggling, and he was able to find it with a little bit of extra time. So I hate to say it, but that a little bit of extra time might have worked against you last year in the finals.
And I'll be honest with you, I feel like I gave it up. I mean, I started off really strong, and I just kind of faltered at the end. And so
Steve Anderson, a good look at him. He did win individual gold in 2016 in the Outdoor World Cup arena. He's also won a couple of team golds and silvers in his career. So Anderson experienced archery.
You see there, they both jumped to look at the Jumbotron to see where their arrows at. See, look, there's Steve again.
All right, so here we go. We're going to get back to live action.
With 3 arrows.
The final end. This is for gold. 1-point lead. Steve Anderson.
And Steve will start it off.
Nice long look at that target.
Good looking shot.
Looks like a 10. Steve starts off the right way. He does have a nice long look up there.
I mean, it's on the edge. You never know until they score it.
Jesse, and he nails that one.
That one's there.
No question about that one.
This match is Jesse. When you sit about and think about it, he shoots for 10s, it's over. Steve can't shoot an 11 or a magic point anywhere. So you're kind of in that position. As long as that works up. Ooh, and that right there, you just turn yourself and say, all right, I now can shoot 110 and it's over. Because you're going to keep it in the gold for the most part.
Does Jesse at full draw really know what Steve just did?
Yes, he did. Because you knew. Yeah. So see, you know you knew.
Yeah, and you could tell from that English. He tried to put a lot of English on that.
And with the 20 seconds, you don't have time to let up and recoup.
Yeah.
You know what the ooh was. You know what's going on.
There it is for Steve. So Steve's done everything he can. So now it's up to Jesse. 10 to win. 9's going to time. We're going to go to a shoot-off. Hearts are pounding in this arena right now. Everybody wants to erupt in cheers.
He looks solid.
Jesse Broadwater getting ready to release.
And there it is. Jesse Broadwater with a nice solid 10 will take home the gold. Second year in a row, the defending champ comes from 10th out of 16 qualifiers to win this one by 1 single point. And the silver medal will go to Big Cat Steve Anderson. An unexpected medal for Steve. There's no question about it. Hey, Steve, don't forget to return those arrows to your competitor.
Yeah. I wonder if Mikey's getting a cut of what he wants.
So you saw 4 outstanding matches here in Las Vegas. It's the Vegas Shoot 2017.
And it's a good thing for Jesse
It's a great game.
because it's his first real win with his Matthews bow.
Yep.
And I don't care what anybody says, you make that move to get that first thing under your belt is awesome. It just kind of takes the monkey off your back. Because I know when anybody changes something, they're always like, well, can you do it with the other one?
Yeah.
Or maybe our stuff's better. And to get that monkey off your back is just an awesome feeling.
And after 16 years of shooting one particular brand, the change you've got to retrain your brain to deal with all that change, I would think.
Well, and the change isn't, I mean, it's hard because it's a whole different animal. But I think the biggest part is we are such competitors. And we want, when a company believes in you or someone believes in you enough to take a chance on you, whether it's for 50 cents or it's for nothing or it's for equipment, you want to prove to them your value. And I can tell you, making my change last year, I want to prove to everybody. It was. I appreciate what the companies do to me and support me, and I know that pressure is an added tension on you.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesse shot good. I mean, he shot good in Nîmes.
Yeah.
He's shooting good here in Vegas. In fact, I'll be honest with you, me, Steve, and Jesse have the same X count for tomorrow. We'll probably be on the same bail.
Oh, really? Is that
So
right?
that'll make for fun.
That'd be great. You'd be talking about
Yeah.
this.
This is very cool.
A little bit of business is here. There's a gentleman named Andrew Hornsley, who is the World Archery Fan of the Year.
What you're looking at right now is the World Archery Fan of the Year Award.
Yeah.
Has traveled to numerous countries to watch his favorite archers shoot.
President of the NFAA there with the red shirt on, holding that flag. That's Bruce Hull.
World Archery's videos on Facebook.
And you can see the World Archery Fan of the Year.
Archery team makes its rare mistakes. So here's Bruce Hull.
So this crowd gets to enjoy as some of these folks are staying for the podium celebrations that'll happen here in a moment.
And Andrew's been to all the World Cup finals to watch Brady shoot. Brady's his number one. He loves Brady, and it's a really cool thing.
We love to see fans celebrating the outstanding accomplishments of these amazing archers. 51 years, world famous Vegas shoot here in Nevada. And we have 4 new gold medalists in the Indoor Archery World Cup Finals, done and dusted. As we get ready for some podium celebrations, Rio, some takeaways from what you've seen here, because we still have another day of shooting. Some of the archers, most of the recurve archers are going to use the same exact equipment. Some of the other archers are going to make some tweaks to either your arrow rest or just to your sight with big fat arrows, 27 arrows. But what are some of the takeaways you've seen from the arena here tonight?
That's some great matches. I mean, we saw them go back and forth. We saw some shoot-offs. We've seen, we got a little bit of everything tonight. You know, some young people getting new experiences. I mean, guys like Jesse, who has 73% winning, and has won 22 matches, and it's just, I mean, it's just awesome. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. The sport of archery is amazing. We have, from every type of build. And look at Jesse; he's not as big as
Steve, for sure.
And you get all that. You've got this whole. It's a cool sport. I mean, we got a guy who shoots with no arms.
Yeah.
We've got a guy who shoots from wheelchairs that competes with us. That KJ Polish, who's going to be, he's still clean. To me, it's an awesome sport, and to get to see the guy shooting compete tonight, just as cool as could be. There's one thing for sure. It never gets old to me. I love to watch the videos, and I love to watch people perform at this sport at their best.
3,485 competitors here this weekend. A lot of the competitors competing in something called the flight division. Flight division is basically where you go and shoot for 2 days, and then your score and your X count gets ranked with every other archer. In the compound flights class, there's nearly 1,200 this year, Rio. Then what they do is they take a certain amount of people, say 40 or 50 or so on, and then they break you up into individual groups, and that's what's going on tomorrow. So you have the championship class, which has $51,000 of first place money on the line, and you've got to shoot a perfect score. You have to shoot 300, 300, 300 just to get into what they call the shoot-off.
Yeah.
The one thing they have going, though, is if you shoot an 899, just drop 1 point over 3 days, you get to shoot for the lucky dog. Okay, so
Yeah.
everyone gets all the 899s. They get together, and then they shoot down to one shooter who gets to go in. And you know what? In 49 years, the lucky dog had never won anything. But last year, at the 50th anniversary, we saw history made right in front of our eyes, and only in 3 arrows.
Yeah, it was. Last year was a really anomalous year. I mean, to only have 5 guys make the shoot off, it was pretty crazy.
It was,
I mean, like, we're usually at 15 to 12. In fact, we were discussing that tonight. Jesse thinks 15. I called 12. We'll see where it ends up as to how many guys are clean come tomorrow. So now we have the recurve women coming out.
this is the podium for the Recurve women's gold medal.
Representing Korea, Shanghai Jin.
Your Olympic gold medalist.
Olympic gold medalist finishing 3rd here.
Second
Shanghai
place,
Jin. That's bronze
representing
medal.
Korea, Jin Yun.
And of course, we saw it right here live
First
on
place,
World Archery.
and Indoor Archery World
Jin
Cup
Yun will
champion,
take home the
Song
silver
Ji-young.
medal. And your gold medal winner. What a phenomenal performance we saw. It's Song Ji-young will take home gold here in Las Vegas. Well worth the trip.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and we all live to shoot these events and compete, and she did awesome. I mean, she shot a lot of 10s. There was no, she pretty much put it down. There was no question. She threw down great scores, and looking at her
Please
scores
give a
throughout
warm
the
round of
whole
applause
bracket,
to our
she shot
athletes.
well the whole way through.
And for her efforts, the gold medal, not only does she get that medal forever, $3,700
Yeah,
awarded from World Archery,
yeah,
not including what she's going to get from sponsor deals. So
yeah.
congratulations to those archers on making it through and into the medal matches. Some of the fans sticking around from Illinois, people that I get to shoot with actually.
All
My
right.
friend Karen right there in the middle,
Perfect.
cheering on. They love archery all over the United States, this competition. You know, this is the night though. And here's the thing, if you shoot in flights like I was talking about earlier, if you shoot in flights
Yeah.
and you don't do that well, you got to get up early and shoot. So there's no partying on Saturday night in Vegas.
No, no.
It's one of those extra motivators for
Yeah.
shooting well. It's like, because you want to go out and experience a little bit of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
We're at the fantastic South Point Hotel and Casino, which is on the south side of Las Vegas. Not too far away from the Strip. It's a quick Lyft or Uber ride that can take you over to the Strip. And a lot of the families that are here, husband and wives that are
Yeah.
joining people that are shooting, try to take advantage of Las Vegas.
What do you think of the influx on this? I mean, 3,500 people, and a lot of them bring their families. That's a lot of influx of people.
A
Yeah.
lot of people.
Makes
I'll
for
say,
a hard time to get on the elevator.
Yeah, I was just going to say
Yeah.
that, yeah. There are congested times, especially when those flight times let out. And
Yeah.
it's you got to kind of time it. I actually have a hot
and
setup.
gentlemen,
I'll let you know about the hot setup later off air. I don't want everybody to know
Yeah.
how you get upstairs quicker. Here we
Run
go.
up the stairs.
Yeah, no, right, yeah.
The checks
I think this
will be
says
presented
nearly
by
30
Mr.
floors or
Casey
something, 20-something
Wasserman,
floors.
Yeah.
I'm not
Chair
running up any
of the
stairs.
Los Angeles 2024
Here's the Recurve men.
Olympic Games Bid Committee.
Indoor Archery World Cup Finals for 2017.
Third place, Olympic silver medalist, representing
Charles.
France,
Olympic
John
silver
Charles
medalist.
Valadon.
Great guy.
Yeah.
You know, super guy. I mean, I love archery. A lot of good guys
Second
in the
place,
sport.
representing
The
Korea,
best. And
Yi
Brady was telling
Dong-hyun.
me he went and spent time with John Charles before we went to a World Cup Finals once, and he's like, dude, it was awesome.
First
We shot
place,
guns and hung
and
out. He said
Indoor
it's just a good
Archery
time.
World Cup
Yeah.
champion,
John Charles
the
Carson
champion
knocked
of the London
out the number
Olympic
one seed,
Games,
Brady Ellison, there.
Oh Jin-young.
In the final bronze medal match. But it's all about this archer right now. Oh Jin-hyuk with the gold medal. Another one adding to his illustrious resume. And like I said before, I think it's great that the money is evenly distributed through all the categories and all the archers.
Yeah.
So no matter what bow you decide to pick up and compete with, if you come to the World Archery stage, you get equal reward for your effort. So there's your podium.
And Korea dominates the recurve again.
Yep.
Again, I mean,
That
they're
program-
the dominating force. That program is amazing.
For a reason, you know. There was a time when we were in the 16 brackets, and there were actually 6 of the Korean archers that were all lined up next to each other, competing against each other. And I was watching from the side, and the technical tactical way they shoot is so incredibly close, like similar in terms of how those recurve archers release and the break of the wrist and the spin, almost spin. It was actually very incredible. You can see that there's a method, that there's a system in Korea that's really working for these archers, and how they're coming across oceans all over the world and dominating no matter where they are.
Yeah.
Some fans sticking around for this, getting a little FaceTime on our live stream as the celebration continues. And here is the women's compound. And our first look at Linda Ochoa Anderson on the right part of your screen, wearing that white shirt. She won the bronze medal. And she actually had to knock off Cassidy Cox from the United States in order to do that. That was a 149 to 143 score. So the Anderson clan will be taking home a bronze and a silver medal for their efforts. And Linda actually was, with the way she just kept her head down and kept shooting, and then she found herself unexpectedly in that match. She was the 15th of 16 qualifiers. And I was there when Steve was talking to her. He said, great, it was unexpected. You know, just go ahead and just win the thing.
Yeah.
And here's your winner, gold medal, Tanya Jensen from Denmark. Well, she put on quite a display, didn't she?
Yes. And like I said, all weekend she has shot phenomenal.
Yeah. And that's why she came in as the #1 qualifier.
Yeah. Well, she won memes. And I mean, she put on a display there.
Yeah.
She's kind of on a roll, and that's kind of how a lot of sports go. They just flow and roll.
This will also wrap up the conclusion of the season for the Indoor Archery World Cup. It started in Marrakesh, Monaco. That was back on the 26th of November. And then the World Cup stages went off to Bangkok in December the 10th, and then in Nimes, France, which I've never been, Rio, but I hear it's the French equivalent to Vegas.
It is. To me, it's the European Vegas.
Yeah.
It's a big event. They put on a great show. It's just a good event.
So here come all sizes of individuals as you have Chance Bobef, our first look at him in that elite shirt. He finished in 3rd place with that bronze medal.
Beating Chris Schaaf.
Yeah, Chris Schaaf was shooting lights out too early on in those matches. That was 148 to 146 in that one. So Chance Bobef will take home the bronze medal for his efforts.
Yeah.
He was actually one of the shooters to make it into the shoot-off last year.
Yeah, Chance has 3 Vegas titles.
Yeah.
There's only 4 guys besides. That's the most that anybody's won. So
second place,
Chance can shoot. There's no question about what kind of
States
talent
of America,
he shot 30
Anderson
on the Vegas round.
Yeah.
So that's
a big cheer from crowd favorite. Big cheer for crowd favorite Steve Anderson as he steps on to the podium to accept his check for his silver medal. A great effort from Steve. It's going to be interesting to talk to him after this and find out how unexpected. But it's all about this guy right now. Defending champion Jesse Broadwater, making a huge switch in the offseason from Hoyt to Matthews, working hard on getting that bow dialed in. And he has his coming out party with his new bow manufacturer right here on the biggest stage in the world, the World Archery Indoor Cup Final. Jesse Broadwater is the gold medal finalist. He does it for the 2nd year in a row. Not only does he get that check, Rio Wild, we talked about it, he gets another year of entries and accommodations for 3 nights.
yeah.
And that helps out a lot with archers getting to big events.
Yes, he does. And those 3 are all still clean for Vegas. So
for contingency checks and photos.
So that'll wrap up the activities here from the South Point Hotel and Casino. It's the world famous Vegas shoot. It's open to anyone, folks. If you're thinking about competing in archery and this comes available to register next year, you've got to think about coming out to Vegas. This year, nearly 3,500 shooters show up to compete, including these finalists that we see right here: bronze, silver, and gold medal finalists. The Indoor Archery World Cup Final in Las Vegas. That'll wrap up the indoor season for World Archery. Don't forget to check out World Archery
.org.
For more information.
Thanks for tuning in. It was awesome.
We appreciate it. For Real Wild, I'm Greg White. Thanks for joining us here on the live feed. And we will see you next time right here on World Archery.
Thank you for giving our activists around